War with Arabia. In the 7th year of his reign, 31 BC, Herod prepared to go to war against the ungrateful king of Arabia. At the same time, Octavian and Antony were preparing to fight each other for control of the Roman Empire at Actium. Herod, having ruled a fruitful country and collected its taxes for 7 years, was able to raise and equip a strong army, which he led off in support of Antony. Hearing of Herod's plans, Antony reassured him he did not need his military assistance. Instead, he sent a message to Herod commanding him to punish the king of Arabia. Having heard from both Herod and Cleopatra how dangerous and unreliable the king had become, this was exactly what Cleopatra had hoped for, thinking it to her own advantage that these two kings do each other as much harm as possible. There could be more land in it for her if they destroyed each other. When his army was ready, Herod marched to Diospolis, where they met the Arabians, whom they defeated handily. Hearing that another army of Arabians were gathering at Cana in Celesyria, now Cleopatra's territory, Herod marched there, deciding to make camp near Cana until his army was rested enough to attack. His soldiers, encouraged by their victory in Diospolis, urged Herod to attack immediately instead of encamping, so he led them on to rout the Arabians, who would have been totally destroyed if Anthenio, Cleopatra's general, had not suddenly joined the battle. Anthenio had previously decided to watch the battle, reserving his forces for use only if it appeared the Jews would win. He attacked the tired Jewish army, which thought the battle had already been won, slaughtering many. Losses were particularly heavy in rough terrain, where the horses could not be used, and the Arabians had the advantage of knowing the land. After this defeat, Herod was reduced to making guerrilla raids on the Arabians, avoiding pitched battles until he rebuilt his army. Then, an unusual and destructive earthquake hit Judea, killing large numbers of livestock and about 10,000 people. The army itself camped in the open, suffering no physical damage, but was disheartened by the news of death and destruction coming from their homes. Ambassadors were sent out to make peace with the Arabians. The Arabians, certain the Jews could now be defeated, slaughtered their ambassadors and attacked. The Jews lost all hope and became totally demoralized. Herod was not willing to lose by default. He rallied his army by speaking to its leaders and then to the men themselves, convincing them of the righteousness of their cause in God's eyes. Seeing the morale of the army greatly improved by his words, Herod offered the sacrifices required by law, marched over Jordan, and pitched camp near the enemy. A successful skirmish over a castle further encouraged the men, who then attacked the Arabian bulwark itself, causing the Arabians to panic and lose 5,000 men. The remainder of the Arabian army barricaded itself within the bulwark. Not able to penetrate their defenses, Herod camped around the bulwark until thirst forced the Arabians to sue for peace, then refused all terms. In 5 days, 4,000 Arabians surrendered. The rest of the force decided to fight its way out, losing 7,000 more before surrendering and accepting Herod as the new king of Arabia.